So today we're going to be solving systems of equations using substitution. On Friday we did it by graphing. Today we're just going to be able to find that point that makes both of them true. So that's what we're looking for, is to be able to find a point that makes both of the equations true. Okay, for this first one, we're going to go ahead and solve by substitution. So since I already have x equals, I'm going to take this equation, okay, and I'm going to plug that in for my x. Since I know what x equals, I'm going to plug it in for this x in my other equation. So I'll have -3, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put in that -2y minus 8, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do plus 2y equals 8. Now we're going to go ahead and combine our like terms and solve for y now. So we're going to distribute. So I have 6y plus 24 plus 2y equals 8. Now let's combine our y's. So I have 8y plus 24 equals 8. Subtract our 24. So I have 8y equals -16. Divide both sides by 8, so y is going to give us a -2. Okay, now I have y. I'm not done yet. I actually need to get x as well, because remember, we want the point, the x and the y value, that make both of those true. So I'm going to take that -2, and I'm going to plug it in to my y. Since I know what y equals, I'm going to plug -2 in there to figure out what x equals. So we're going to have x equals -2. Then I'm going to plug that -2 that I just got in there, minus 8. Okay, so -2 times -2 is 4, minus 8. So that's going to give me -4. So I have an x and a y, but we can't leave it like that. We actually have to put it as a point. So my answer is going to be -2. Oh, I'm sorry, our x goes first. It's going to be -4, -2. Your x and your y point. Okay, so for this one, we're going to need to get a variable by itself. That's the only way you can substitute, is when you have a variable by itself. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and add y to both sides of this equation. So now this bottom one is actually going to be x equals y plus 7. Okay. Now I can go ahead and substitute that y plus 7 in for my x variable. So I'm going to have 3, then that y plus 7 minus y, or sorry, plus y equals 5. Okay. So we'll distribute. So we have 3y plus 21 plus y equals 5. Go ahead and add our y, so we have 4y plus 21 equals 5. Now we'll go ahead and subtract both sides by 21. So I get 4y equals -16. Now when we divide that, we're going to get y equal to -4. Okay. Once I have that, I'm not done though. I need to actually plug that back in. So I'm going to go ahead and take that y equals -4 and plug it back into what y equaled up here. I'm going to do this one because it's a little bit smaller of an equation. So I'm going to use blue, but we're going to have x minus a -4 equals 7. So now we have to solve for x. So this is just going to be plus plus. So I'll subtract a 4. Subtract 4, so x equals 3. Okay, once you have that, we need to write it as a point. So we're going to go ahead and our answer will be 3, -4. And that is the answer to that problem. Okay, on this one, we're going to have to do what we did on the last one, where we're going to have to get a variable by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and add x to both sides. So this one is now going to be y equals x plus 6. Okay. So I'm going to take that and now plug that in for this y right here. So I have 2x minus 2, and then instead of y, we'll put our x plus 6 equals 4. Okay. Now distribute. be careful with that negative. It'll be 2x minus 2x minus 12 equals 4. Okay. Now, 2x minus 2x, that's going to be 0x. So those cancel out. So I have negative 12 equals 4. Okay. Now, we know that negative 12 does not equal 4. Okay. So that's actually going to be a no solution. Since our variables canceled out and we're left with two numbers that don't equal each other, it is no solution. So those would be like parallel lines, like we talked about on Friday. For this one, we're going to have to get another variable by itself. So since x is already without a number in front of it, let's go ahead and subtract 2y from both sides of this top equation. So that's actually going to give me x equals negative 2y plus 4. Okay. Now, let's plug that in for our x right here. So we have 3, and then in our parentheses, 2y plus 4, since we're substituting for x, plus 6y equals 12. Now we'll distribute. So I have negative 6y plus 12 plus 6y equals 12. Well, we have a negative 6y and a positive 6y. Those cancel again, so now I'm left with 12 equals 12. Okay. Now this one's a little bit different. 12 does equal 12. That's a true statement. So if it ends up being two numbers and it's a true statement, that's actually infinite solutions. Okay, and that's it for us graphing or solving by substitution. So go ahead and go on to the practice problems on the next Class Kick slides. So go ahead and take care of those, and then when we get done with those, hit the please help or the please check so that we can see if you're doing them correctly.